I can remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible. And he would actually high-five me and say, congratulations, way to go.
How many days have you had in the past year where you're proud of your effort, the work you put in? For most people, it's not that much.
So often, you don't move forward because you're keeping such score from what didn't work in the past.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time!
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Sara Blakely. Also, if you want to learn from other successful women entrepreneurs, check out my 254 Girl Boss series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
When I was selling copiers door to door, I had a very clear vision of what my life was going to be like.
From day one, I never tried to hide that I was the girl in my apartment with the red backpack. Growing up, my father used to ask my brother and me what we had failed at the dinner table, which was so interesting, and he'd celebrate it, and he'd actually be disappointed if I didn't have something that I failed at that week. So I can remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible, and he would actually high-five me and say, congratulations, way to go. And what it did was just reframe my definition of failure. Failure for me became not trying versus the outcome. So many people don't take risks for fear of failure. They don't start the business, they don't go create the art they want to create, or they don't go try out to be in the play, or whatever it is, for the fear of failure. And once you redefine that for yourself and realize the failure is just not trying, then life opens up to you in many ways. And I would also, my dad would encourage me anytime something didn't go the way I expected it to, or maybe I got embarrassed by a situation, to write down where the hidden gifts were and what I got out of it. And I started realizing in everything there was some amazing nugget that I wouldn't have wanted to pass up.
You need to tie your self-respect to your efforts, not your results. Where you get your self-love from, your self-respect, your self-confidence should not come from winning. It comes from trying. Because if you tie your self-respect to winning, you'll only do things that you know you're gonna win at, and therefore you play small for life. So I'm training a guy on my team who I've promoted, and I'm putting him in a position that is way beyond his skill set, way beyond what he thought he'd be doing, and it's a big push outside his comfort zone. Here was a guy who was doing a bunch of admin tasks for me, and now he's in charge of all of my YouTube analytics. I want him to be my data guy. I want him to go through the thousands of videos that I have on my channel and make recommendations to say, this intro is too long, this intro is too short, this thumbnail sucks. You know, when you talk, Evan, things blow up or things suck. When you wear black, people love it. Anything. Go through all the data, go through all the analytics, and tell me where we need to make improvements. So I was on a call with him yesterday, and I had to have a serious talk with him, because he's looking for data that supports his hypothesis. Because he suggested on my channel, my main channel, that we go back to my original intros, where I say one sentence here, one sentence here, and one sentence here, and then he's Robert F. Smith, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, right? That's what we did way back, like in the very first original series of the top 10s, and we've evolved. So he suggested take out the song, take out the intro, take out a whole bunch of stuff, and just do those three things. And let's see if it works. So that's what I did. Like, great, good idea. The data supported it, backed it up. Let's go and try. We haven't tried it, we won't know. So we tried it. The first video came up was the Robert F. Smith top 10 rules for success on that new template. And I'm looking at the data and it sucked. You know, my goal is to get 70% audience retention at 1 minute. That's my goal across my channels, 70% audience retention at 1 minute. That means 30% of people max have left at the 1 minute mark. That's an insanely high goal to reach. Almost nobody hits that, especially consistently. You might think, oh, 70%, it's easy. It's insanely difficult in the YouTube world. So I looked at the numbers for this one, and it was 52% or something brutal. We don't really operate in the 52% range. So this one came in, it was brutal. 52%, like having a heart attack. Oh, it sucked. People hate this. And then I asked him, hey, how are we doing on the new videos? And he sent me this report that says, hey, well, on our relative data is up. You know, a relative of data saying compared to all videos on YouTube, this video is doing well in the first minute. Yeah, but that's not actually the real story. Because all of our videos relative to regular YouTube, if you're looking at any video, this video, my first video, all of them, every video I make relative to a normal average YouTube video were higher relative. That's not what I'm looking for. We're going after 70% audience retention at 1 minute. You know this. This is where we're focused. And behind all of it was he just didn't want to feel like a failure. He didn't want to feel like he recommended something to me and it didn't work out. That he's trying to justify it by saying, well, look, this stat shows that it works. But it's not what we're after. This experiment so far has been an epic failure, and that's okay. What I need you to do is expect to suck. Expect the ideas not to work. Know that coming in. Know that coming in, we're already operating at a really high level. Right? If every experiment that we try works, that means that we just sucked at the beginning, right? We sucked. You're learning. You're picking this up. Most of my new experiments don't work. I'm trying hundreds of new things all the time, and most of them won't work. I expect to suck. But it's okay because I tie my self-worth to the effort. Am I putting my max effort out? Your experiment, I'm talking to the guy, your experiment was a great test. I backed it. The data suggested we do it, but it's not working. And we'll give it a month to see. And if it still doesn't work, we're going to move on and do something else. And he felt really bad. And he said, don't tie your self-respect to winning. Like if we get a win, it's amazing. But it has to be to the effort. Like you tried, you did a lot of work, you dug deep, you found stuff, you came up with a recommendation that was legit, that was solid, that was valuable. It wasn't put Evan in a butterfly suit and have him fly around the city saying top 10 rules, right? It wasn't crazy. It made sense. And whether it works or not, we need to make the best decisions, because if we just took data that we thought was good, but wasn't actually our goal, if we twisted the data to make it fit our goals, make it look like we're winning, everybody loses. Everybody loses. If I keep that intro, everybody loses. I lose, he loses, you guys, the audience lose, we all lose. All because he was afraid of losing, right? Net, you lose. Same thing for you. If you're only going to take on things that you know you're going to win at, you're losing. You're losing. If you tie your self-esteem to winning, then you only take on things that you know you're going to win at or have a high degree of chance of winning, right? 80% chance of winning. Might be a little bit of discomfort. 20% chance it may not work out. That's the zone that most people operated in. They're barely pushing their comfort zone. They're staying inside what they know. And so, yay, you're winning all day long, but you're winning at small stuff. Where you're capable of more, you're capable of bigger things, you're capable of having a huge impact. Let's go. To get there, you're gonna fail, you're gonna suck. Your first attempts won't work, just like all of your heroes. All of your heroes, their first attempts did not work. They failed, they sucked, and they kept going. But if you woke up and every day you tied your self-respect to, I'm gonna do my darndest today, right? I'm gonna push my face in to make sure that I make some progress today. If you're proud of your effort, if every day you are proud of the effort that you put in, could you tell yourself that whatever your mission is, that you're proud of your effort on a daily basis for how much you work towards it? For most people, it's no. For most, it's not even close. How many days have you had in the past year where you're proud of your effort, the work you put in? For most people, it's not that much. Maybe moments, but days, weeks, months. If you woke up every day and were proud of your effort for what you did yesterday, you're gonna do it again, I promise you're gonna win. That's what winning actually looks like. Waking up and losing most of the day and being proud of your effort. And then you look back at what's happened in the past year. It's like, holy cow, that crazy staircase that I built. I never thought I could do it. Where most people are so focused on just winning and they get to the first step of life. So I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that can start you on your journey. This is important. Let's get to it. Step number 1, what's something you can fail at today? Anything, just get used to failing. Remove the sting of failing. What's something that you can fail at today? Do something that you know is not gonna work. Make your first video, post it on YouTube. Fail, right? Ask somebody for their phone number on the street. You know, somebody of the same sex. If that's not how you roll, right? Somebody where like, you know you're gonna fail. Just do it, just to remove the sting of that. Realize that failing is not that bad. Failing is not fatal. It's okay. What can you fail at today? Something small. Step number 2, why are you proud of your effort for trying? Why are you proud? Why are you proud? You just failed. Why are you proud? You didn't get the result. It didn't work. Why are you proud of yourself? Because I put in the effort, right? What's the effort? How can you say, man, I am so proud of myself for trying to do that scary thing? Because conquering scary things through action is the thing that you want to be proud of yourself for, because you tie your self-worth to you being the person who does difficult things. You do difficult things, not you win at small things in life. Make that shift. So that thing you're going to fail at, what are you going to tell yourself you're proud for? And then step number 3 is, how will you celebrate the attempt? How do you celebrate? Celebrate. Pat yourself on the back, clap it up, post to social media. I do film all these on a little mini trampoline. How are you going to celebrate? Put on music, take a friend out for lunch, celebrate. Feel it. Feel the joy. Feel the happiness. Feel the energy that you get for trying something difficult. You tried something difficult. That's amazing. This is a big shift for most people. This is weird thinking, but this is successful thinking. What's the difference between you and these people who've had success? Hasn't been money, they started with less than you. Hasn't been connections and resources, they started with less than you. Why? It's this difference in mindset. Successful people think differently. Reward yourself for trying. Celebrate yourself for the failure, for trying, for the effort. Because if you celebrated the effort and you are proud of the effort every single day of the next 10 years of your life, holy cow, the person you will become is going to be very impressive. And you're going to be shocked looking back at how far that you actually built your life. Now, I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, what is the one thing that you are going to try that you're going to fail at? Let me know in the comments below.
So often, you don't move forward because you're keeping such score from what didn't work in the past. You are holding yourself hostage to 1997 to 2005. You're holding yourself hostage in love to that past relationship that didn't work, or you're holding yourself in hostage in business to the money that you may have thought you wasted, or the deal that went bad. And so one of the ways that I give myself permission on two levels, permission to have lived a life that has some beautiful experiences and some really tangy lessons. I mean, they're spicy, they hurt, they're painful. When I give myself permission to have had that, I also give myself permission to keep leaping. Give myself permission to keep dreaming. Give myself permission to keep learning how to get it right, learning how to love the unlovable, forgive what seems to be the unforgivable, to leap again. Even while I still have a bandage on my chin from the last time I fell, I still get to leap. If you fall, fall. Catch your breath. Put a bandage on it. Whether you fail financially, you fail physically with health and wellness, you fail spiritually, you fail emotionally, you failed in a relationship, okay. A part of flying is understanding what the distinction between flying and falling. And the only way you understand the distinction is that you experience full life. When you experience full life, it's like this. Life isn't just flat line. It's not just like this. You make your heights feel better because you understand this was a failure. And what I mean by a failure is this taught me a lesson. This stung. Every single failure has a lesson in it. To me, a failure is a lesson wrapped in some sticky, icky paper that stung, that hurt. And so give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to play big, to be nervous, to fall down, to sit down for a minute. Just don't take up real estate in the sitting down. Don't take up real estate in the analyzing. Don't take up real estate in the preparation. You've been getting prepared for a long time for something. Trust that you'll either fly if you leap right now, or you'll fall if you leap right now. And if you fly, you'll understand what soaring feels like. And if you fall, you'll understand what getting up feels like. Either way, you're okay. That's how I play big with my knees knocking. That's how I play big, even when there's something in my consciousness reminding me of the last time I did something like this and it didn't quite work out. And I still play big because I constantly give myself permission to totally win and soar, or totally fall and get up. And that way, there's nothing to truly be afraid of. Remember, this is a dialogue, not a monologue, which means we're in a dynamic conversation versus me just entertaining.
One of the things that holds people back that I believe is fear. Fear of failure. I want you to ask yourself this question. What would you do differently if you knew you couldn't fail? Would you take more risk? Would you be more aggressive? You don't need to be afraid of failure. I'll give you a perfect example. When I was making an offer, when I was driving people to take an action and investing in themselves, when I'm speaking to a group of audience, maybe 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, on a good day, I might have 10, 15, 20% of the people in the audience, they will take action and they will invest in themselves. So you would say, wow, that's a 20% success rate. Yes, there is a 20% success rate, but the other way to look at this is basically I fail even on a good day, 80% of the time. I would get a rejection. 80% of the audience would say no. In marketing, when you are running traffic, when you're doing your marketing online, let's say you get a 3% conversion, meaning 100 people visits your website, 3% will take action. Let's say your conversion of 3%. 97% would say no. 97% would not buy, and 97% would not take action. Well, guess what? You have a 97% failure rate. You see, anyone who achieves any kind of success experience failure on a consistent basis.
If you want to see Mel Robbins' thoughts on how to be responsible for yourself, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
If you're going to look to other people for advice, remember one thing.